Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are continuing with our income statement analysis. Our next line of expense to consider here is the depreciation and amortization. And when we talk about depreciation is just about spreading the cost of a fixed asset over a period of time. This is how it happens. When you buy a fixed asset for your business, so for instance, in our case, we buy a Sobolo mixer for our business. We expect to use the Sobolo mixer for more than a year. We would need to spread the cost of the Sobolo mixer over the number of years we anticipate we're going to use the Sobolo mixer. And so when that happens, we spread the cost and write it off over that period. So let's say if we bought the Sobolo mixer at 1,000 cedis and we feel that we would use the Sobolo mixer for 5 years, what we'll do is that we will divide the 1,000 by 5, 1,000 by 5, and charge 200 cedis as depreciation for each year until the 5th year, when the asset will be fully depreciated and will have a zero balance. Depreciation, the rationale behind it is this: we want to match expense to income. So if we feel that we have used the asset this year, we want to match the expense bit, the usage of the asset we feel we have used, which will be our 200, to the revenue that Sobolo mixer has helped us achieve within the year. So we match the 200 against that revenue. That is the rationale behind depreciation. So when you buy a fixed asset, you don't just charge the full cost of the 1,000 Sobolo mixer to the income statement. No, you would anticipate how long you are going to use the asset and write it off over that period, and that is what we call depreciation. Depreciation is for tangible assets. Depreciation is for tangible assets like the Sobolo mixer in our case. So if we have a distribution van, if we have other assets, the physical assets like building and stuff, they are depreciated. For intangible assets, like maybe cost of a license, if we buy a license to run our software, or if we want to even operate under a trade name and we buy that license, the cost of that license has to be spread over the period in which we think we are going to operate under that license, and that's what we call amortization. So in essence, it's still the same. The logic is still the same, only that depreciation is for fixed assets, amortization is for non-fixed asset or intangible assets. The write-off is what we call depreciation. Of course, some people feel that once you get a brand new asset, it should be written off, quickly, because at the time when the asset is efficient, it helps you more in generating revenue until later years when the asset has lost its efficiency. And that's why some people argue that you do the reducing balance, because they believe that in the early years of the useful life of the asset, we should charge more of depreciation to income statement, because they feel that at that particular period, the asset is most efficient, is being used the more. And in later years, when the asset is less efficient, maybe it's a bit older, its usage is not as robust as before, and they feel that we should charge less. And that's the principle behind reducing balance. But some people avoid all these technicalities and say straight write off, and believe that we do the straight line depreciation where they write it off evenly over the period. So every year is the equal amount is charged. There are some other different methods of depreciation, but for our sake, let us restrict ourselves to these two probably. That is the reducing balance and the straight line method. The next line is our interest expense. Our interest expense is the is the cost of our loans. So if we take a facility, if we go for a loan to run our business, a debt instrument to run our business, we pay interest charge. And the interest charge, so for instance, if we went for 2,000 cedis at 20% from any bank or financial institution to run our Sobolo business, we'll be required to pay 20% times the 2,000, which would be 400 for each year as interest expense to our business. Now, let me say that the EBIT is the difference between the EBITDA, EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. That's EBITDA. EBIT is earnings before interest and tax. So if you less depreciation from the EBITDA, you get earnings before interest and tax. And if you less further your interest expense from your EBIT, you get EBT. And your EBT is your earnings before tax. Now you further go down to our current taxes, and this is the tax charged on our operations. So this is straightforward. So for instance, if we are paying 25% of interest, 25% of taxes on our earnings before tax, we would multiply our EBT by 25%, and that will become our current tax. Now, the deferred tax here is a bit tricky, and it arises from differences in uh, tax from the government and the accounting tax. This is how it works. We, as a business, in our Sobolo business, we have calculated our earnings before tax, accounting for all the expenses up the income statement. Now, the government sometimes would disallow some of these expenses for some other reasons. They would disallow them, and even for the depreciation they would also write it off differently than we have anticipated. So when that happens, it means that the government will have a different earnings before tax than we as a business have declared as our earnings before tax. When these differences happen, obviously our tax charge on such figures are going to be different, and the difference between the government tax and our tax, which we call the accounting tax, results in the deferred tax. The differences between these things are temporary, and they are really not a cash outflow. It's just a temporary difference that causes deferred taxes, and purely is due to government taxes being different from our accounting taxes. Now, when you sum these two, the current taxes and the deferred taxes, you get the total income tax charged to your income statement. And then if you less your total income tax from our earnings before tax, you then get your net profit. Net profit. Net profit is the bottom line of every business, and it is the most important line to investors actually, because it shows the profit that is attributable to them as shareholders and as even investors of the business. So for them, they are very, very much interested in the net profit of the business. So in essence, we have looked at the depreciation and amortization, which is the write-off of a fixed asset. We have looked at the interest expense. We have looked at the current taxes and then the net profit. The last bit here, which is not part of the income statement, but for the purpose of our modeling, we have included is the preferred dividend, and that is dividend paid to preference shareholders. When we get to the balance sheet and the cash flow bit, I'll explain it further. But for the purpose of our modeling, we would always have it attached to our income statement. But then, really, in practice, it is not part of the income statement. Thank you.